Alright, so today we gotta do a spindle replacement on this J&M 750 grain cart. I diagnosed a bad spindle load cell on here yesterday and customer decided to replace it, so we're gonna have to replace that guy. But the first step will be to jack up this tire and unbolt it. Yeah. Alright, now we gotta unbolt the tire. This one takes a 1.5 inch socket. So. Alright, now that we got the tire and rim off, we can take this dust cap off, which is a 9/16 socket. Now that you have your cap off, you should see a whole bunch of grease. If not, then there'll just be either a roll pin or cotter pin or something in there holding that castle nut on, and I'll just wipe the grease off and show you what that looks like. Looks like this one has a cotter pin, so I'll just need to bend that over and pull it out. Now that cotter pin is out, we can just remove this castle nut, which seems to almost be hand tight there, but so just put a pipe wrench on it. They're usually not too tight. Okay, now we got the castle nut off. Now we'll just take this ring off, and the hub should just slide off. So now that the hub is off, we'll have to take the spindle out. This is where you find out if it's going to be a big or small job. And how to do that is you'll need to take off the bolt that holds the spindle on, which will take a 15/16 socket. On this J&M 750, the cable runs through the frame on this one. So what I'll do is I'm just going to cut the cable kind of 10 inches from the end, and just tape with electrical tape the start of the new spindle wire on there. That way I can just pull the old one out and then the new one will go with it. So I'll do that. Now that I got that cable cut and that bolt taken out, there should be nothing holding that spindle in other than a whole bunch of rust if you're unlucky. So what I'll do is I'll just put a pipe wrench on there, try and turn it, see if it turns. This one looks like it's turning, so it shouldn't be too hard. But yeah, the next step is taking your spindle out. So fortunately, my spindle was loose, but I wouldn't count yourself so lucky because oftentimes they are pretty seized in these bushings. So a trick I like to use is just use a bottle jack, and if it suits your cart. I know on this J&M 750 it works because this frame nicely runs on top of the axle, and if you just keep good pressure on the spindle and turn it with the big pipe wrench, then you should force it along. And if that doesn't work, then you can heat the bushing, and that should do it. Nice. Okay, now that I feel like this guy is loose, I'll just pull it right out of there. I've now moved into the shop just to get out of the wind and to clean all these parts off. Next step now is to take out the seal and inner bearing on this one. If you get a new spindle from us, we'll always include a new seal, so we'll replace that seal as well. After cleaning off this inner bearing, I had noticed that it's cracked on, you can especially see it kind of right there and right here. So we're gonna have to replace this inner bearing, and since we're doing that one, we're also gonna change the outer bearing as well. So new bearings will be going into this hub. So now that we need to replace the bearings, if you find yourself in that situation, that's part number for the inner bearing, and that's part number for the outer bearing. I'll put that better on the screen there. But so now this step is to just fill all the bearings with grease, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, now that I got the inner bearing all packed with grease, I can put it in the hub after I cleaned it all up nicely. Just like that. I will pack more grease in there as well. Now we're to the stage where we're putting in the axle seal. So if you get your spindle from us, we'll get you a seal that'll look exactly like this. And these ones are directional, so you can see there's little, that seal has a kind of a chamfer there. So you want the axle, it to slide on the axle like that. So we'll put it on like this. And put a plate that spans the seal and just tap on it. And I think that's in. Okay, after taking the old axle out, you'll notice that there's going to be rust and dirt buildup inside that sleeve, so it's good to hone it out and put brake clean in there. And thing to do when you're putting in a bar is just to put an anti-seize product inside the bushing and on the spindle. I think because the old spindle came out so easily, the previous owner did put anti-seize when they installed the bars. So you can be fairly liberal with this stuff. Alright, now to install the spindle, we'll have to put the cable through the bushing, and when you put this spindle in, there should be a sticker that says top, so you can just make sure that's facing up. Alright, how am I going to do this? Okay, cameraman. There you go. Perfect. Okay, now we'll put anti-seize on the spindle itself. I do want to make a mention though that some spindles have a front and a back bolt. Most of them have one, but this in particular bar has two, and we're going to be using the back bolt to mount that one. Beautiful. Like that. And we'll put the bolt through. and she's bolted on. Okay, so since we cut the cable off the axle, I'm just gonna tape the end of the new scale bar onto here, and then hopefully just pull it all through. It would save a lot of time on running wires. Okay. Okay, now I got that cable all taped up, so I'm gonna just try and pull through here. See, I'll have to get started on the other side. Pull, and then there's my new scale cable. Easy as that. Alright, ready to put the hub back on, so we'll try and put it on nice and straight. That seal's working. Just like that. Okay, before we slide on that outer bearing, I'm just gonna pack the inside full of grease, just to make sure it's full. Now it's time for the outer bearing. Just like that. And this guy. Castle nut. Tighten it and right there. Spin it. It's not too bad. Not going back and forth. I think that is good. And we'll put the cotter pin through. When putting the cotter pin through, you'll need to make sure you'll pound it in enough that it won't be interfering with the dust cap. You can see how this one has been interfered before, but you can touch that and you can tell it's not hitting anywhere. We're gonna fill this cavity with grease just to make sure it's full. All right, now that we got it full of grease, we can put the dust cap back on. Beautiful. And I'll bolt it back on, and then we're ready to put the tire on. All right, now that we got the wheel on, we can go and tighten those all down. Now that we got the wheel tightened down, we can lower the jacks. Well, first I'll have to get the safety jack out of the way. Get that loose and let our hydraulic jack down. All right, now I have hooked up the load cell to the junction box and we are ready to test. How we test this system is we'll just use body weight, and we have the indicator there. We'll have to hook it up to a tractor yet just to get the tongue weight, and then I'll just stand on the front hitch, see what I weigh, step on the left axle, see what I weigh, and step on the right axle and see what I weigh. And if all the points weigh the exact same, then we should be good. Even if it's a little bit off, then we can recalibrate and should be good to go. So let's do that. Then I'll stand on the hitch, see what I weigh. Got 160. I'll try the axle that was already on the cart.
Yep.
60. And then the new axle. Now that those two spindles and hitch all weigh the same, in this case at 160, you're ready to calibrate, or you're done and ready to hit the field. If you need any help with calibrating, diagnosing, or need any tips, just feel free to give us a call.